I'm dumb and I just recorded this whole video with my microphone clear over here. Can't hear me at all. Anyway, today I was watching a video by Thrill Riders where he was recreating Terran, and in that video he mentioned that you can't place unload station directly into a load station in Planet Coaster 2. And that surprised me because that's kind of a common setup. So I'm going to try to see if you can do that. Spoiler alert, you can't. At least not perfectly. Here we have a ride with the load station that an unload station goes directly into. Sort of. Guests are getting off in the unload station, and they're boarding in the load station. However, you might have just noticed, this train has to do this weird little loop right here. And that's because in Planet Coaster 2, if you do build an unload station directly into load station, which you can, it ends up treating it as just one giant station, and the train will just fly through it without stopping and actually unloading people, so it doesn't work. So the workaround is you have to add some extra track in between them. In this case, this is as small as possible, just a tiny little loop, and then have it go back into the station. That way it acts as two separate stations instead of one giant one. And yeah, as you can see, it's a little clunky. The trains aren't exactly respecting the block zones, they're just kind of colliding into each other and stuff. Obviously right here they're clipping through each other, but you can at least have your unload station butt up right up against your load station this way. So let me show you how I set this up, and then we can go over what happens if you do actually have unload station go directly into load station. Alright, so let's say you're building a ride. This is your glorious layout, but you want to have your unload station go directly into your load station. So what I was hoping you could do, just build a section of track backwards that's 4 meters, and then build your unload station. Then select this little piece here, delete it, and go in and build unload station, and have it connect, which in this case it is. But then we try to test it. This is what happens. It loads in the guests and then just fly through. Whoop. You see, they stopped here, and then they didn't stop here to actually load more people, and it just goes around and around forever. So you can never actually finish the test, and then you can never open the ride. So you have to have at least one section of track between an unload station and a load station for the game to treat it as two separate stations and not just one giant station. So, how can we get that to happen while still having the unload station look like it's right next to the load station? So I'm just going to highlight the unload station, hit delete to remove that extra section that we had right there that connected the two. Then we're going to delete this little section. Now this is a block section right here, and if you're one of these several, and I mean several people, that have watched my advanced track movement videos, this won't seem entirely unfamiliar to you. However, what is weird is that this section right here isn't perpendicular to the track, it's parallel to it. But by setting it up this way, I can move the track back and forth, which means I can get nice and close right here and just drag it up until it just butts up right about there. So cool, now it looks like we have track that's connected. But if we connect these, hit done, we'll see that it just falls off the track. So we still need to have that extra section of track. Now here's how to make the smallest possible loop that the train can do and still make it back to the station. 4 meter 90 degrees, 2 of those. Now here I've got to make it 5 meters, then back down to 4, and just close the loop. And so here's what we have. We've got the unload station, does this little loop, and it goes directly into the unload station. This gives us the aesthetic of having the unload station right up next to the load station, but it still functions properly. Well, you know, kind of properly, because once I open this back up, you'll see that the trains don't really care about block sections anymore. Maybe that's just a bug with the unload stations or something now. I don't know. But it works well enough. Guests will get on the ride, they'll get off the ride, and it looks like they're right next to each other. So if this is something you're trying to do just for aesthetics, it works. It kind of works for now. So yeah, if this was helpful for you at all, make sure to dislike, unsubscribe, make sure that this video forever remains our little secret. And as always, adios amigos.